Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Yin Yoga with Matt. And today I am joined again by my lovely wife Jodi, and we have our 6-week-old little baby Millrose sleeping right now. So we're gonna try to do a yoga class while we get a chance. And today we're gonna be doing a full body Yin Yoga class. And if you have a bolster and blocks nearby, I'm going to invite you to keep them handy because we might use them. And today I just wanted to share with you a little tip that I shared a little earlier. And it's to just be aware of how much negativity you consume on a regular basis. So if you're watching a lot of the news and social medias, especially nowadays, all you're going to see is negativity, and it's going to affect your mood, energy, and your happiness. And us, we don't even have the cable here, and we've been really tuned off and staying away from all of that, and we've been so much happier for it. And life is going wonderful. So I'm just going to invite you to keep that in mind. So let's start today's class by going into butterfly position. So we're going to bring the sole of our feet together in front of us. And we're just going to stay here for now, closing our eyes. Just going to be working on calming our mind. So you can hold your feet with your hands, sitting up straight. So do some big inhale through the nose. So you inhale positivity, and on the exhale, you release negativity. So big inhale, filling your body and mind with positive vibes. Exhale, letting go of all the negativity that resides inside. So let's just do that on our own time now. Big inhales and big exhales through the nose. Now we're going to take one big inhale, but on the exhale this time, we're going to walk our fingertips forward, finding our edge, allowing our spine to be round, our chin to come in contact with our chest, and then we're going to hold it still. And from here, for those of you who wish to, you can grab blocks and place it on top of your feet. So you can make a little tower or just use one block. And that's going to allow you to rest your forehead as you come all the way down. So you have these two options today. And on your next exhale, you can walk your fingertips back, raising your upper torso very slowly. Remembering that today's goal is to let go of negativity in your life. So we can place the blocks aside now. And on your own time, I'm going to invite you to go onto all fours towards the back of your mat. So we're going to be going into melting heart. So from here, we're going to untuck our toes, keeping our knees and hips aligned with our shin in a 90-degree angle. And then on our next exhale, we're going to walk our hands forward, keeping our glutes up, curving the spine, opening up through the shoulder and chest, and bringing the forehead all the way down to the mat. Bringing back our attention to our breath, and then finding stillness through the position. And as you get comfortable into this asana, you can try to walk your hands a little further away, trying to bring your chest closer to the ground while keeping your hips up and aligned with your knees, deepening the position, getting a better stretch through your chest, shoulder, and spine. Really focusing on opening our hearts and being receptive to the positivity around us while disregarding the negative. It's a habit to cultivate. So from here, very slowly, we're going to move our hips forward and we're going to bring our belly to the floor in front of us, very gently, keeping our elbows in line with our shoulders. We're going to get into Sphinx pose, releasing our low back. from here, we're going to move into a variation of the Sphinx, more of like a sill pose. So we're going to open up our knees to the outside edge of our mat, and then we're going to bend our legs and touch our big toes behind ourselves up in the air with our hips open. And once you find that you're settled into this, we're just going to place our hands in front of us and push up. So that's going to intensify the stretch in your low back. And it's going to open up your hips a little bit. So just touch your feet together and bring them closer towards your glutes. Once you can't anymore, just hold it there. If that's too much for you, you can go back into regular Sphinx pose. There is no judgment here. So try to keep your shoulder blades low. Do not shrug your shoulders up in your neck. You want to keep everything relaxed to the best you can. And on your next exhale, we're just going to release, lowering ourselves down, flaring out our elbows, placing our hands on top of the other, bringing our forehead to the back of our hands and keeping our legs back in line, or bringing your legs back in line with your body. So closing up your knees and extending your legs to the back of your mat. I'm just going to take a moment here to relax. And when you're ready, you can bring your elbows back in, placing your hands underneath your chest on the floor, pushing yourself up very slowly and coming back onto your knees. It might feel good to just stretch your back a little bit here. And then coming back to all fours, we're just going to tuck our toes and we're going to push and go up into downward facing dog. So you might want to wiggle your heels, stretching your hamstrings from left to right. Just holding it here for a little bit. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale and raise our left leg up in the air, all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to swing it forward beside our left wrist. And then extending our right leg back and going into dragon pose. So you might want to grab your blocks on both sides. It's going to help you stay up straight. You can push your hips forward and down, deepening the asana. Going back to inhaling positivity and exhaling negativity. So I'm going to invite Jodi to stay the way she is right now because she's just getting back into Yin Yoga. So we don't want to strain herself doing too much. But for those of you who've been practicing regularly with me, we're just going to open up our left foot to 45-degree angle, opening up our left hip, and then lowering ourselves into the right elbow. We're going to turn around and grab our leg, just like I'm doing. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of your right thigh, which is quite intense. And when you're ready, you can slowly release, coming back all the way up, and then moving your hips back to just stretch your left hamstring. Just taking a moment here to enjoy this. It feels really good. And then when you're ready, you can go back onto all fours. So we're going to tuck our toes once more, pushing through our arms, going into downward facing dog. Balancing our yin practice with just a little bit of yang to get everything flowing properly. A few more breaths here. And then one big inhale, we're going to raise the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward beside the right wrist. Settling yourself up into dragon pose. Again, grabbing the blocks if you want for support, which I like to do. It allows me to really focus on the front of my left hip while feeling supported. And then for those of you who wants to follow me, I'm going to place the blocks aside. We're going to open up the right thigh by moving the right foot in a 45-degree angle, opening up that hip, and then lowering ourselves onto our left elbow. We're just going to turn around and grab our ankle off the left leg. So you should feel a nice stretch in the front of your left thigh. And we can slowly release, coming back to center, bringing that right foot back in, and then moving our hips back into a right hamstring stretch. And then when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to bring your legs back. So we're just going to open up our knees, sitting down on our heels with our big toes touching behind our glutes. Just going to take a little moment here. And now we're going to take one big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our fingertips forward, going into wide knee child's pose. Trying to keep our glutes in contact with our heels. Just going to open up our elbows, flaring them to the outside of our mat, and bringing the forehead to the ground. And from here, you might want to walk your hands to the right side of your mat and to explore opening up your left side by just offering it this gentle opening. Sometimes just changing the way we do an asana brings back new sensations. Allow us to open up different areas of our body, exploring our mind differently as well. And then pushing through our arms, let's just walk them very slowly to the left side of our mat this time. And seeing how that feels. Opening up the right side of our body this time. You should feel a big but really nice stretch in the right side of your body. And then let's walk our hands back to the center very slowly, and then raising up our upper body as we push our hands back. So from here, I'm just going to invite you to bring your knees to the middle of your mat, crossing your ankles. We're going to roll onto our glutes and extend our legs in front of us to make our way all the way down to our backs. Very slowly. So from here, we're going to go into Recline Twist. So we're just going to shift our hips to the left side of our mat a little bit, and then bring our knees in towards our chest. We're going to grab the right hand and we're going to place it to the outside edge of our left knee. One big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to turn our knees towards the right side of our mat, all the way down onto the floor, trying to keep both shoulders in contact with the mat, looking up towards the ceiling, and we're going to extend our left arm to the left side of our mat. So you can keep the pressure on your left knee with that right hand if it helps you to hold the position. You can even place a block in between both knees or the bolster for support. Some people like to do it like this. So I'm just going to do it for demonstration purposes. And if you want to deepen the sensations in your spine, you can start to look left. And when you're ready, you can move your hips back to the center. Bring your knees back in line with your spine. And then you might want to just wiggle them left to right with your feet on the ground, going into a windshield wiper motion, which feels really good right now. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to lift your hips up just to shift them to the right side of your mat. And we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, using our left hand to the outside edge of the right knee. And then we're going to allow everything to turn to the left, keeping both shoulders in touch with the floor. Again, you can place the bolsters between your knees for support. Starting by looking up towards the ceiling, extending the right arm to the right side of your mat. And then when you're ready, you can look right as well, deepening the asana. And on your next exhale, you can release, bringing your feet back onto the floor, bringing your knees back to center, and then wiggling left to right, a windshield wiper motion. And we're going to go into Savasana. Now I'm going to invite you to grab the bolster and place it underneath your knees for comfort and support as you extend your legs in front of you, taking some space onto the floor, allowing everything to become weightless, and then focusing back on your breath. Remembering that when you catch yourself focusing on negativity, just be aware to quickly move away from it and tune off. And the more you're going to do that, the more it's going to become a habit. And you'll be surrounding yourself with people that are positive, hobbies, activities, news, whatever it is. You'll just be focusing on positive things in your life, and your life will be more positive as a result. ready on your own time, I'm going to invite you to come all the way up into the seated position. Perfect timing. Millrose is waking up. So I hope you enjoyed today's full body Yin Yoga class, and it was a pleasure for me to have you join us on the mat today, Jodi, Millrose, and I. So if you like my channel, please subscribe to it, share it with your friends and family members, or even donate to my PayPal account. It's always much appreciated. And yeah, like I said, just remember to not focus too much on the negativity. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Jodi and I have been staying away from the news and all that fear and everything that they show every day. So it's a great way to live a happier life, and we've been much more happy for it. So, and we have Millrose to focus on too, which is a real bundle of joy. So let's bring our hands at our heart, people. Close our eyes. We're going to take one big inhale, as big as you can, and on the exhale, I always like to release any last bit of tension that you didn't release through Savasana. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So until next time, Namaste. Bye, everybody.